This is not just another speech. What you're about to hear has the potential to change the course of your life forever. This moment is a turning point. Whether you believe it or not, everything can change today. You have within you the power to step into a new version of yourself. The only question is, will you? Will you take control of your life and make it extraordinary? Let's dive into how you can begin to transform right now. Your current reality is a reflection of your choices. Think about it for a moment. Everything you see, experience, and feel right now is the direct result of the decisions you have made up to this point. Whether you are aware of it or not, every single action, every word spoken, every thought entertained has led you to where you are. The house you live in, the relationships you have, the career you're in, and even your health. These are all the sum of the choices you've made. The power and responsibility of this realization can be overwhelming, but it is also incredibly empowering. Every choice you make sends a ripple through the course of your life. When you choose to stay in a situation that doesn't serve you, to tolerate things that drain your energy, to accept mediocrity instead of striving for greatness, you are reinforcing a cycle that keeps you stuck. In those moments, you are making decisions that reinforce a reality you may not want. You may wish things were different, but nothing will change unless you choose differently. It's easy to blame external circumstances, other people, or even fate. But the truth is that every outcome is a result of a decision that you've made, whether conscious or unconscious. Imagine a river. The river's flow is determined by the path it has carved through the landscape over time. If the river had made different choices at any point, it would have flowed in a different direction, creating a completely different environment around it. The same is true for your life. The choices you've made in the past have carved a path through your life. Those decisions may have led to places of fulfillment and joy, or they may have left you feeling stuck and unfulfilled. But understand this, the power to change the course of your life is in your hands right now. You are not bound by your past choices. You are free to make new ones at any moment. And those new choices can set a completely new course for your life. The good news is that you can choose again. Your life doesn't have to stay the same. You are not locked into a set path based on what you've done before. You can start making different decisions today that will create the future you desire. It starts with recognizing the fact that your current situation is not permanent, it's not fixed, and it doesn't have to be your forever reality unless you allow it. Every new moment gives you a fresh opportunity to take a step towards something greater. The moment you decide to take control of your choices, your entire life begins to shift. But the first step is the hardest. It's the moment when you realize that you are in control. Not your past, not your circumstances. The challenge for many people is that they get comfortable. The comfort of what's known, even if it's not what they want, often holds them back. People settle into routines, even ones that aren't serving them. They make excuses about why they can't do more, why they can't change, or why they can't go after what they truly desire. They make the choice to stay where they are, to not rock the boat, to not risk the discomfort of change. But comfort is the enemy of progress. You will never grow if you stay in the same place making the same choices over and over again. Growth comes when you choose to step out of your comfort zone, to take risks, and to do things that challenge you. You have the ability to reprogram your reality by changing the way you make decisions. If you want different results, you need to make different choices. It's that simple. And the choices don't always have to be big, dramatic ones. It's the small decisions that you make daily that compound over time to create monumental shifts. The decision to wake up 30 minutes earlier and read or exercise. The decision to stop saying yes to things that drain you and start saying no to things that don't align with your values. The decision to take a chance on a new opportunity even though it feels scary. Every single choice you make adds up, and it shapes the trajectory of your life. The key to changing your reality is becoming aware of the choices you're making. Most people go through life on autopilot, reacting to things rather than intentionally creating the life they desire. The first step to creating a new reality is to become conscious of the choices you're making right now, in every area of your life. Are you making decisions from a place of fear or from a place of courage? Are you choosing comfort over growth? Are you making choices that are aligned with your highest potential, or are you playing small because it feels safer? The answers to these questions will tell you everything you need to know about how you're creating your current reality. When you realize that your choices have power, you can begin to consciously choose the life you want. You can decide to step into your greatness, to break free from patterns that no longer serve you, and to create a life filled with purpose, passion, and fulfillment. It all starts with the decisions you make today. Your mind is your most powerful tool. It is the force that shapes your reality, drives your actions, and ultimately determines your success. You may have heard this before, but the truth behind it is often underestimated. The mind is not just an organ, it is a mechanism of infinite potential. Every idea, every belief, every action you take begins with a thought. Whether you're aware of it or not, your thoughts are constantly shaping your present and future experiences. Your mind is the lens through which you see the world, and it holds the key to unlocking a life of greatness or one of limitation. It all starts with your thoughts. Every single decision you make is rooted in a thought. When you decide to wake up early to exercise, that action began with a thought. When you choose to speak words of encouragement to someone, that too began with a thought. Your thoughts dictate your behavior, and your behavior determines your outcome. If you think you are capable, if you think you are worthy of success, your actions will follow suit. But if you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you're destined for failure, your actions will align with those beliefs, and you will keep creating the same cycle of disappointment and struggle. Your mind is powerful because it can either limit you or set you free. It is your most important asset, yet many people fail to recognize the power it holds. Most people go through life on autopilot, reacting to the events around them rather than consciously deciding how they want to think and feel. The key to unlocking your full potential lies in taking control of your mind. The truth is, the stories you tell yourself are what define you. The way you perceive yourself, the world, and your abilities directly impacts the actions you take. If you believe you are a victim of your circumstances, that belief will trap you in a life of inaction. But if you believe that you are capable of creating change, that you have the power to shape your destiny, your mind will begin to open up possibilities you never thought possible. A profound aspect of the mind is its ability to rewire itself. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, shows that you can change your mind at any point. You are not trapped by your past thoughts or experiences. If you want to create a new future, you can start by changing the way you think. Your mind is like a garden, and the thoughts you choose to plant are the seeds of your future. If you nurture thoughts of positivity, growth, and abundance, you will cultivate a mindset that attracts those very things. On the other hand, if you allow negative, self-limiting thoughts to dominate your mind, you are planting seeds of doubt, fear, and scarcity, which will only hinder your progress. The power of the mind also lies in its ability to visualize. Visualization is a powerful tool that athletes, entrepreneurs, and successful individuals across all fields use to manifest their goals. By vividly imagining your desired outcome, you are training your mind to believe that it is possible. The more you visualize success, the more your mind aligns itself with that success. It starts to rewire itself to think in ways that bring that vision to life. Your mind doesn't know the difference between reality and vividly imagined experiences. So, when you visualize your dreams as if they have already happened, your mind begins to work in your favor to bring them into your reality. However, the mind can also be your greatest enemy. The same power that can create great success can also create great fear and self-doubt. It's easy to get caught in a cycle of negative thinking, and once that spiral begins, it can feel almost impossible to break free. But this is where the real power of the mind lies, in your ability to control your thoughts. When you choose to interrupt negative thought patterns and replace them with positive affirmations, gratitude, and empowerment, you disrupt the cycle of self-sabotage. It takes practice and it takes discipline, but with time, your mind becomes an ally rather than an adversary. Your mind is also a reflection of what you feed it. Just as you wouldn't expect your body to function well if you were constantly feeding it junk food, you cannot expect your mind to thrive if you constantly feed it negativity. The power of belief is one of the most transformative forces in the human experience. It shapes how we perceive ourselves, the world around us, and the possibilities that lie ahead. Belief isn't just about having faith in something. It's the driving force that propels people to take action, to overcome obstacles, and to achieve things that others might deem impossible. Your beliefs dictate your reality, for they shape how you approach every situation, every opportunity, and every challenge in life. What you believe, you create. What you doubt, you push away. Belief is a powerful tool because it influences your behavior at a subconscious level. Think about the things you believe about yourself. If you believe that you are destined for success, you will act in ways that align with that belief. Your actions, decisions, and habits will reflect the confidence that you have in your abilities, and the outcomes will begin to align with that. On the other hand, if you believe you're not good enough, or that success is for others but not for you, your actions will reflect that belief as well. You will hold yourself back, make excuses, and avoid taking risks. Your belief system will limit you, and your life will reflect those limitations. What makes belief so powerful is that it operates on a subconscious level. You may consciously desire success or happiness, but if you don't truly believe on a deeper level that you deserve it or that it's possible for you, your actions will always be in conflict with that desire. It's easy to say you want something, but your belief system governs how much you're willing to work for it, how far you're willing to push, and how resilient you are in the face of adversity. Beliefs become the lens through which you interpret the world, and they determine the opportunities you see or don't see. People with a strong belief in themselves are more likely to take chances, step outside their comfort zones, and embrace failure as part of the journey. Those who doubt themselves, on the other hand, often remain stuck in patterns of fear and hesitation. One of the most powerful examples of the power of belief can be seen in the realm of sports. Athletes who believe they can win will push through pain, exhaustion, and self-doubt to achieve their goals. They don't see setbacks as permanent. They see them as temporary hurdles to overcome. Their belief in their abilities helps them persist when others would give up. It's not always talent or skill that determines success, but the belief that they are capable of achieving their goals. When a person believes in themselves, they tap into a well of potential that they may never have realized was there. Belief also plays a crucial role in how we handle adversity. Life is full of challenges, and at times, it can seem like everything is working against you. Your belief in your ability to navigate those challenges will determine whether you rise above them or stay defeated. People who believe in their strength, resilience, and resourcefulness view obstacles as opportunities for growth. They don't see failure as a reflection of their worth, but as a stepping stone toward success. Those who doubt themselves, however, may view setbacks as signs of inadequacy and may give up far too easily. Your belief in your ability to overcome challenges is what keeps you going when things get tough. It's the fuel that propels you forward when the road gets rough, and it's what separates those who succeed from those who settle for mediocrity. Your beliefs are also incredibly contagious. The beliefs you hold about yourself and the world around you influence not only your actions, but also the people you interact with. When you believe in your potential, you inspire others to believe in theirs. When you approach life with confidence, positivity, and resilience, you attract people who are similarly inclined. Your energy and beliefs create a ripple effect that extends far beyond you. On the flip side, when you hold limiting beliefs, you may unknowingly discourage others or create an environment that fosters negativity and self-doubt. The power of belief doesn't just shape your own life, it affects the lives of those around you as well. The great thing about belief is that it's malleable. Just because you have believed one thing for most of your life doesn't mean you're stuck with it forever. Your beliefs are not fixed, they are learned, and they can be unlearned. The beliefs you hold today may not be the same as the ones you held 5 years ago, and they certainly don't have to be the same 5 years from now. Belief is something that can be cultivated and nurtured over time. If you've held on to beliefs that have limited you in the past, you have the power to change them. It begins with a willingness to challenge your current beliefs and to replace them with ones that empower you. Reprogramming your belief system takes time, effort, and consistency, but it is absolutely possible. It is one of the most profound aspects of belief is the role it plays in shaping your identity. Who you believe you are, what you believe is possible for you becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you are unworthy of success, you will unconsciously make choices that confirm that belief. But if you believe you are worthy of success, love, and abundance, you will take actions that align with that belief, and you will start to see those things manifest in your life. Your beliefs create the story of your life. And if you don't like the story you're living, you have the power to change the narrative by changing your beliefs. The power of belief is limitless. When you believe in yourself, you unlock an immense amount of potential that resides within you. You become more resilient, more resourceful, and more capable of achieving things you once thought were out of reach. Your belief system is the foundation upon which your reality is built, and by changing the way you believe, you can change the way you live. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you, and it starts with the belief that you are worthy of it. Fear is temporary, regret is forever. In life, fear is something that everyone encounters, but regret is the result of not having faced that fear. The moment of fear, the anxiety, the hesitation is fleeting. It comes and goes, but the consequences of letting that fear control you can linger for a lifetime. When you face fear, it is often uncomfortable, it's unpredictable, and it feels daunting. But what you need to understand is that fear doesn't last forever. It is an emotion, a temporary feeling that passes as quickly as it arrives. Regret, on the other hand, is something that stays with you. It builds up over time, festers in your mind, and leaves behind a residue of what could have been. And unlike fear, regret is not something that can be so easily shrugged off. It can haunt you, weigh you down, and shape the way you see your past and your potential future. Fear is something that we all experience, but it is often magnified in our minds. We worry about the worst possible outcomes, imagining things that may never even come to pass. Fear convinces us that we are not enough, that we are incapable, or that the risk is too great to take. But the truth is, most of the time, the thing we fear isn't as bad as we make it out to be. In fact, once we face that fear, once we take the leap, we often realize that it wasn't nearly as scary as we thought it would be. The courage to face fear comes in the act of taking that first step, acknowledging the discomfort but moving forward anyway. That is when the power of fear starts to fade. It dissipates, and in its place you feel empowerment. But the fear of taking action often leads to inaction. It holds us in a grip, convincing us to wait for the right time, for the perfect conditions, but that perfect moment often never arrives. And as time passes, we look back, wishing we had taken that chance, wishing we had taken that leap. The truth is that the fear of regret is often greater than the fear of taking action. The fear of facing failure, rejection, or the unknown may seem intense, but the fear of looking back on your life and wondering, what if, is a deeper, more pervasive kind of fear. That fear of regret doesn't go away with time. It builds up, and it becomes more painful the longer we ignore it. Regret is something that sneaks up on you, and before you know it, it has shaped your entire perspective on life. It's not the fear that you remember, it's the choices you didn't make, the opportunities you didn't take, and the dreams you didn't chase. The opportunities you pass up or avoid in the name of fear become regrets that you carry with you, and the weight of those regrets can overshadow everything you do moving forward. It's the things left unsaid, the chances not seized, the paths never walked down. Regret is not simply a feeling, it is a collection of missed opportunities of a life lived in hesitation rather than action. And it's a burden you will carry with you whether you choose to acknowledge it or not. What's so dangerous about regret is that it doesn't just reside in the past. It can impact your present and future. When you let regret take hold, it makes it harder to take risks, to go after what you truly want. It creates a mindset of I should have and what if that limits your potential. Regret can cause you to become risk averse, to play it safe, to keep yourself small. It holds you hostage to the idea that it's too late, that you've missed your chance. But the reality is that regret doesn't get easier with time, it only gets heavier, and it keeps you from living fully, from embracing the present moment and the possibilities that still lie ahead. When you look back on your life, what will you regret more? Will you regret not taking the leap, not facing your fear, not embracing the opportunity that was in front of you? Or will you regret not trying and letting fear keep you from the things that could have made your life extraordinary? The truth is that fear is something we can overcome, something we can move through. Fear doesn't define us unless we let it. But regret is something that becomes a permanent part of your life. It's not something that can be easily erased or undone. Once you've missed an opportunity, it's gone forever. Once time has passed, it cannot be reclaimed. The beauty of fear is that it's temporary. It doesn't have to define you. Fear is not a permanent state. It's a feeling that comes and goes, and with each experience you face, it becomes easier to navigate. It's the courage to act in spite of fear that propels you forward, that leads to growth and transformation. It's the willingness to move through the fear, to embrace discomfort, and to realize that the short-term pain of facing fear pales in comparison to the long-term pain of regret. The moment of fear may feel intense, but it will pass. Regret, however, lingers. It stays with you and impacts your future decisions. It prevents you from moving forward, from chasing the life you truly want. So, the next time fear stands in your way, remember that it is only temporary. It is the small passing moment that will soon be behind you. But if you choose to let fear stop you, regret will be the thing that stays with you long after the fear has faded. And regret is something that, once it takes hold, can be a weight that's far harder to carry than any fear you could ever face. Momentum is everything. It is the unseen force that propels us forward, often without us even realizing it. When we think about success, we often imagine massive breakthroughs, big wins, or defining moments that set us apart. But the truth is, success is built on the small, consistent actions we take every single day. Momentum is what turns those small actions into big results. It is the driving force behind everything we do, and without it, even the best intentions will fall short. Momentum doesn't happen overnight. It's created over time through repetition, persistence, and consistency. It's that steady, forward-moving energy that keeps us going when we feel like giving up, and it is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful forces you can harness in your life. When you start something new, whether it's a goal, a project, or a change in your life, there is always that initial feeling of excitement. The idea of what could be, the vision of success, is often enough to spark the first step. But as time passes, that initial excitement begins to fade. The challenges, the obstacles, and the inevitable moments of doubt begin to creep in. At this point, many people stop. They let go of the momentum they built at the beginning, and they fall back into their old habits, their old routines, and their old ways of thinking. They give up on the very thing they started because the road became more difficult and they lost their momentum. But momentum is like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, the snowball is small and slow, but as it gathers speed and mass, it grows bigger and faster. The same principle applies to your actions. In the beginning, you might not see immediate results. The work might feel tedious, and the effort might seem overwhelming. But if you keep going, if you stay consistent and push through the early resistance, you'll begin to gather momentum. The key is to stay the course, to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when you can't see the end result. It's in those moments that the real magic happens. The consistent effort you put in compounds, and before you know it, you'll start seeing results that make all the struggle worthwhile. One of the most powerful aspects of momentum is that it feeds itself. When you start to gain momentum, everything becomes easier. The tasks that once felt like a chore start to feel effortless. The momentum you've built carries you through the tough times, propelling you to take action when your motivation is low or when fear starts to hold you back. It's the energy you tap into when you need it the most. Momentum gives you the drive to keep going even when you feel exhausted, and it keeps you focused on your goals when distractions and obstacles threaten to pull you off course. The opposite is also true. When you stop moving, when you take a break, or when you allow doubt and fear to stop you in your tracks, you lose momentum. And without momentum, it becomes incredibly difficult to start moving again. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to pick up the pace. The key to building momentum is consistency. It's the small, seemingly insignificant actions that add up over time and create a powerful, unstoppable force. This is why success isn't the result of one massive action or a single stroke of genius. It's the result of countless small decisions, each one building upon the last, creating momentum that drives you forward. Momentum is also a force that builds on itself. Once you've created momentum, it becomes easier to maintain it. The more action you take, the more you are able to take. Momentum carries you through moments of doubt and frustration. It helps you overcome fear and uncertainty. It's the reason why some people seem to have the Midas touch. while others struggle to make progress. Those who have momentum keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps. They understand that each action, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a building block in the process of creating something great. In many ways, momentum is what separates the achievers from those who give up. The difference between success and failure often comes down to one thing: how long you keep pushing forward. The most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who kept moving. They stayed consistent. And they didn't stop when the going got tough. Embrace growth and change. These two concepts are not only inevitable, they are essential for living a life of fulfillment, purpose, and success. Change is a constant in life. Things evolve, circumstances shift, and new opportunities arise. But what often holds people back is their resistance to change. We are creatures of habit, and the unknown can be intimidating. We seek comfort in the familiar, even when that familiarity no longer serves us. But the truth is, in order to move forward, in order to create something greater, we must be willing to embrace growth and change. Without them, we stagnate, we settle, and we miss out on the incredible potential that lies just beyond our comfort zones. Growth is not always easy. It requires us to challenge our existing beliefs, to stretch beyond what we thought was possible, and to confront the parts of ourselves that are limiting us. Growth often requires discomfort. It's the growing pains that come when we step outside our comfort zones, take risks, and try things we've never done before. Growth forces us to let go of old patterns and mindsets that no longer serve us. It demands that we face our fears, that we step into the unknown, and that we take responsibility for our lives. But it is through this process that we expand, evolve, and ultimately transform. One of the most powerful aspects of growth is that it opens up new possibilities. When you are stuck in your comfort zone, you are limited by what you already know and understand. You are trapped by the walls of familiarity, and your perspective on life becomes narrow. But growth forces you to expand your view, to see things in a new light, and to consider possibilities that you may have never imagined before. As you grow, you start to see the world through a different lens. You begin to realize that there is so much more to life than what you've experienced so far. Growth pushes you to reach for new goals, to aim higher, and to live with a sense of purpose and intention. It opens doors to opportunities that you wouldn't have seen if you stayed stuck in the same place. At the same time, change is the catalyst for growth. Without change, growth would be impossible. The world around us is constantly evolving, technology advances, new ideas emerge, and society shifts. In order to stay relevant, in order to continue to grow, we must be willing to adapt. Change is often met with fear, as it disrupts the status quo and challenges our sense of security. We fear the unknown, the uncertainty, and the potential loss of what we already have. But change is not something to be feared, it is something to be embraced. It is through change that we discover new strengths, new abilities, and new ways of thinking. The ability to adapt to change is what allows us to grow, to learn, and to thrive in an ever-changing world. Embracing growth and change also means letting go of the past. We can't move forward if we are constantly looking backward. If we are holding on to old stories, old wounds, or old ways of thinking. Growth requires us to release what no longer serves us and to make space for new experiences and new possibilities. This can be incredibly challenging, especially when we have attachments to our past, but it's necessary for progress. Holding on to past mistakes, regrets, or fears only keeps us stuck in a cycle of repetition. To embrace growth, we must release our attachment to the past and trust that the future holds greater possibilities for us. It's important to understand that growth is a process, not a destination. It doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to keep moving forward even when progress feels slow. Many people give up on their growth because they expect instant results, but true transformation takes time. It requires consistent effort, daily action, and a mindset that is open to learning. As you embrace growth, you will find that each step forward, no matter how small, adds up over time. Eventually, you will look back and realize just how far you've come. The key is to stay committed to the process, to trust in your ability to grow, and to continue taking action even when you don't see immediate results. And another critical aspect of embracing growth and change is the importance of resilience. Life will not always go as planned. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments when you feel like giving up. But resilience is the ability to keep going despite these obstacles. It is the strength to rise up after falling down, to learn from failure, and to keep moving forward. Resilience is what allows you to adapt to change and to grow in the face of adversity. It's the unwavering belief that no matter what happens, you can handle it, learn from it, and come out stronger on the other side. Growth and change are essential not just for achieving success, but for living a life that is rich with experience, learning, and personal fulfillment. When we stop growing, we stop living, life becomes stale, uninspiring, and disconnected. But when we embrace change and allow ourselves to grow, life becomes a constant journey of discovery and evolution. We start to see ourselves in new ways, uncover hidden strengths, and realize that we are capable of much more than we ever imagined. The discomfort that comes with change and growth is temporary, but the benefits last a lifetime. As you continue on your journey, remember that growth and change are not only natural, they are necessary. Life will continue to present new challenges, new opportunities, and new paths. It's up to you whether you embrace them or resist them. The choice is yours. Embrace growth, embrace change, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Creating unstoppable energy is about more than just physical stamina. It's about cultivating a mindset, a belief system, and a lifestyle that empowers you to push through obstacles, maintain focus, and stay motivated no matter the circumstances. Energy is one of the most precious resources we have, yet it's often something that people don't truly understand or take for granted. Unstoppable energy isn't about being constantly busy or running on fumes. It's about tapping into the deep reservoir of power within you and using it to fuel your ambitions, your dreams, and your goals. The energy that propels you towards success doesn't just come from eating right, exercising, or getting enough sleep. It comes from how you think, how you approach challenges, and how you choose to show up every day. The first step in creating unstoppable energy is understanding the connection between your mind and your body. Everything starts with your thoughts. Your mind is the control center of your entire being, and it dictates the direction of your energy. If you constantly focus on the negative, on what's not working, or on the obstacles in your path, your energy will be drained. The key to generating and sustaining powerful energy is to shift your focus toward what you want, toward the opportunities, toward the solutions, and toward the positive. When you maintain a mindset that is aligned with your vision, your body responds accordingly. Your energy shifts. You become more alert, more focused, and more driven to take action. A big part of creating unstoppable energy is understanding that it is not just about how you feel in the moment, it's about how you approach the future. When you are clear on your vision, when you know why you are doing what you are doing, you naturally begin to generate the energy needed to move forward. Your vision acts like a magnet, pulling you toward it and giving you the energy to keep going even when the road is tough. When you're connected to a deeper purpose, when you're driven by something greater than yourself, your energy becomes endless. You tap into a source of power that is far beyond what your physical body can give you. That sense of purpose fuels you during moments of fatigue, self-doubt, or frustration. Building unstoppable energy also requires you to create habits and routines that support your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It's not just about working harder, but working smarter. You need to understand that you can't constantly pour from an empty cup. You need to take care of yourself in order to have the energy to give to others and to your goals. This means getting adequate rest, nourishing your body with healthy food, staying physically active, and making time for self-care. When your body feels good, when you are physically strong, your energy skyrockets. You are more resilient, more focused, and more able to handle whatever life throws your way. But physical well-being alone won't create unstoppable energy. You also need to take care of your mental and emotional health. Negative emotions like stress, anger, and frustration can sap your energy in an instant. To cultivate the energy needed to succeed, you must learn how to manage these emotions. This doesn't mean avoiding challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It means developing the emotional resilience to handle whatever comes your way without allowing it to drain your energy. It means developing coping strategies that work for you, whether that's through mindfulness, meditation, journaling, or simply taking a break when you need it. Your environment also plays a major role in the energy you create. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you spend time in, and the inputs you consume all have a significant impact on your energy levels. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, or toxicity, it becomes much harder to maintain high energy. To create unstoppable energy, you must deliberately surround yourself with positivity, inspiration, and people who elevate you. Choose environments that nourish you both physically and emotionally. Fill your life with the things that inspire you, that spark creativity and excitement, and that push you to be your best self. The right environment creates the conditions for unstoppable energy to thrive. Another key to creating unstoppable energy is developing mental toughness. Energy is often tested in moments of challenge or discomfort. It's easy to feel energized when things are going well, but what about when the going gets tough? What about when you face adversity, failure, or setbacks? This is where your true energy comes to the forefront. Mental toughness is the ability to stay focused, stay positive, and keep moving forward despite challenges. When you have mental toughness, you don't let setbacks drain your energy. Instead, you see them as opportunities for growth. You stay resilient, and you refuse to let obstacles stand in the way of your vision. Mental toughness is about being relentless, about continuing to push forward even when you're faced with difficulties. To sustain unstoppable energy over the long term, it's essential to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they seem. Acknowledging progress, even if it's just a little step forward, fuels your momentum. It helps you realize that every action you take is bringing you closer to your goal. Celebrating your wins doesn't just boost your morale, it reinforces the belief that you are capable, that you can succeed, and that you are worthy of success. It creates a positive feedback loop that propels you forward with even more energy. In essence, creating unstoppable energy is a process of aligning your mind, body, and environment with your goals and purpose. It's about developing the habits, mindset, and resilience necessary to maintain high energy, even in the face of challenges. When you create unstoppable energy, you tap into a limitless source of motivation and power. You stop letting external circumstances dictate your energy, and you take control of it. By doing so, you unlock your potential, propel yourself toward your goals, and live a life full of passion, purpose, and unstoppable momentum. Your future is unlimited. The moment you understand this truth, everything begins to shift. The limits that you once thought were boundaries are merely illusions, built by your own perceptions, past experiences, and the expectations of others. Once you break free from these self-imposed limits, you realize that the potential before you is vast, expansive, and boundless. There are no rules to how far you can go or what you can achieve, unless you allow those rules to define you. The future is not something that is predetermined or fixed. It is a canvas, waiting for you to paint your masterpiece. The power to shape your future lies within your hands, and the possibilities are endless. The key to unlocking an unlimited future begins with the realization that you are in control of your destiny. Every thought, every decision, every action you take leads you closer to the future you want to create. Far too often, people feel stuck because they believe they have no control over their circumstances. They look at their current situation and think it defines their future. They believe that the past, their mistakes, their failures, or even the choices they've made along the way limit what is possible. But the truth is that the past is just a series of moments that have already passed. It doesn't have to dictate your future unless you let it. Your future is not written in stone. It is written by the actions you take right now, by the mindset you adopt, and by the choices you make every single day. The most powerful thing you can do for your future is to free yourself from the notion that your current circumstances define you. Many people look at their present challenges, their limitations, or their lack of resources, and they allow those things to hold them back. They think, I'm too old, I don't have the right education, I don't have enough money, or I don't have the right connections. But these are simply stories we tell ourselves. These are excuses that we use to avoid taking action or stepping outside of our comfort zones. Once you let go of the belief that your current situation has any bearing on your future, you open yourself up to a world of possibility. The moment you choose to believe that your future is unlimited, the universe starts to conspire in your favor. An unlimited future requires an unlimited mindset. This means letting go of limiting beliefs, fears, and doubts that hold you back. It means adopting the belief that anything is possible and that no dream is too big. The only limitations that exist are the ones you place on yourself. When you believe that there are no limits to what you can achieve, you start to take actions that align with that belief. You start thinking bigger, dreaming bigger, and pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. It's not about having all the answers right now. It's about having the courage to take the first step, to trust that you can figure things out as you go, and to keep moving forward no matter what. Part of embracing an unlimited future is understanding that growth and change are constant. The future is a series of evolving moments, and with each new moment comes the opportunity to evolve as well. We often get stuck in our ways, holding on to old beliefs, old habits, and old fears that no longer serve us. But if you want an unlimited future, you must embrace change. You must be willing to let go of what is comfortable, what is familiar, and step into the unknown. It's in the unknown that we grow the most. It's where new opportunities are created, new lessons are learned, and new versions of ourselves are born. The future is not a static destination. It's a dynamic process that requires you to be adaptable, flexible, and open to new possibilities. It's easy to become paralyzed by the fear of the unknown, by the fear of failure, or by the fear of making the wrong decision. But these fears only limit your potential. In order to create an unlimited future, you must embrace the discomfort that comes with taking risks. When you step out of your comfort zone, when you take action in the face of fear, you create new experiences and new outcomes. You might stumble, you might fail, but every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to the future you want to create. Each failure is not a setback, it's a lesson, a stepping stone that brings you closer to success. And every time you embrace failure, you are removing one more barrier between you and your unlimited future. Your unlimited future is also a reflection of the people you surround yourself with. The energy, mindset, and beliefs of the people around you have a profound impact on your own future. If you want to create an unlimited future, you must surround yourself with people who uplift you, who challenge you, and who believe in what you are capable of achieving. Seek out those who inspire you, who push you to think bigger, to act bolder, and to keep moving forward. When you surround yourself with people who are also focused on creating their unlimited future, you create a powerful network of support and inspiration. Together you can build momentum and elevate each other to greater heights. Ultimately, the key to an unlimited future lies within you. It's your mindset, your belief, your actions, and your willingness to step into the unknown that create the possibilities. When you choose to believe that there are no limits to what you can achieve, you give yourself permission to dream big, to take risks, and to go after what you truly want in life. The future is not something that is out of your control. It is something that you are actively creating every day. The possibilities are limitless, and the power to shape your future is yours. Your future is unlimited, and it all starts with the belief that you have the power to create it.